Hey, good morning, everyone. It's my first morning on board the Wonder of the Seas. So right behind me, you can see the couch. That's my bed. And out the window, you can see we've been sailing all night. We're going to be sailing all day today. And then our first destination is going to be Labadee, Haiti. I've been to the Dominican Republic a few times, but I've never been to Haiti, so I'm looking forward to docking there. And we're going to check out some of the ship. So I'm starting my first morning on the Wonder of the Seas ship by going to the Vitality at Sea. This is the spa and fitness center for the ship. It's on the 6th deck, and we're going to take a little tour of it right now. So as you enter through here, there's a little cafe here where you can order different sports drinks. Right here's the menu. Apple mint. You do need the drink package to have these included, but there are muscle building smoothies and then just regular juice shakes. And you can see the team right behind here working on them. So this is the gym itself. And what really stands out about this place is along the wall, you could do cardio while you're looking at the sea. And then you have a lot of machines here. Hi. And then the weights are in the back in this corner. And then you can see in the very back, you have more people doing cardio with a sea view, yoga, and then there's a jogging track down here. So right behind me is the ship's bionic bar. So the way this works is you step up to one of these machines here, you tap your card, and you get one of their, in this case, I'm gonna get one of their signature drinks, non-alcoholic. I'm gonna go with Tutti Frutti, add it to my cart, check out, and it's sending the order up here to the machines. So the order's been sent, and one of these two machines here is going to make my drink. You can see all the cocktail bottles. They're hanging from the ceiling here, and it's going to get started in a second. And then the last step is to tap your card, and they send the drink down your way. So I'm about to step off the ship for the first time in nearly 48 hours. We just arrived at Labadee. So the ship docks here, and then people get on and off for the next 4 hours when it's going to be docked here. And right over there is where a lot of the buffets are and some of the excursions, activities you could do. Off in this distance you see, I believe that's zip lining and some kind of roller coaster up there, but I'm going to be heading out on a history walking tour. So one of the famous photo ops is behind me along with the Wonder of the Seas ship. And then here you could book excursions, you could do snorkeling, you can rent a jet wave, you could hike up into the mountains over here. And then as you continue, as you're getting off the walkway, you can see you can rent towels over here. And the water is beautiful, the water's clean, and you can see everybody posing in front of the Labadee sign. And then this is one of the buffets that Royal Caribbean set up. So here you can see some fresh fruit, bread, and you can see where everybody's preparing everything in the back. So behind me they're having a dance performance, and on the other side here is the beach. You can see a little cove in the background, and some of the passengers are having some beach time before the ship pulls back out in the evening. I'm on the back of the tram, which takes people around this little peninsula. There's all kinds of shopping and different food options. I'm heading back to the main area, so I'm gonna be heading out on a history tour soon. But this thing here, it stops every, 2-3 minutes and picks up people along the way, and just does a little loop around the first part of the peninsula.
After the English continue fighting with French, with Spanish, bring all the stuff to England, they very happy. And one of the leader of French, Napoleon Bonaparte, says, guys, please, let's try to get one of the French people and we will kick him out. If we don't do it, we will continue getting in trouble with that.
Hey everyone, I'm at the Mason Jar, which is one of 13 specialty restaurants on board the Wonder of the Seas. Today I'm eating from their brunch menu. They have dinner every night, and then this is their brunch menu. Since I've been on this ship, I've tried about 5 different restaurants. Every morning I've been eating salmon at the 2 buffets. They have beetroot salmon, dill salmon, and my personal favorite is the squid ink salmon. So no surprise what I'm ordering here. And I'm going to be trying a few other different places throughout this trip. They have Italian, they have steakhouses, they have a Japanese sushi bar right around the corner. So I'm standing on the balcony of my 7th floor room here on the Wonder of the Seas. We just arrived in San Juan, Puerto Rico, a city I've never been to before. So off in this direction here is another cruise ship, and then behind us here is Old San Juan, and that's where I'm heading to next. When you step off the ship in Old San Juan, this will be the first thing you see. You see behind me a Senior Frogs, a Polo Ralph Lauren store, a bunch of vendors leading that way, and a Walgreens assigned to the nearest Starbucks. But what I'm most interested in is the hill up behind me, and I'm gonna walk there right now. So it's about a 5-minute walk from the port to the top of the hill, and right now I'm at San Juan National Historic Site. It's part of National Park Service, and in the background here you can see St. Christopher's Castle, and then on the other side here we can see the waterfront is right behind us. Back there is the beach, and then off behind me is a little walkway down to the beach, and then some more Old San Juan is right off in the distance. So the Calle Norzagare runs along the historic section of San Juan. On the right side you have the waterfront, and you also have a neighborhood called Perla, and then off to the left you have some street art heading in the direction of the port, and all the way up there there's another historic castle. And now I'm at the Museo de San Juan, which is an ideal place to start your visit if you want to learn some local history and check out some local art. And I happened to stop here when there's a performance. It looks like some school children and their parents are putting on a little bit of a show here. But if you're in the area, I would definitely come and check this place out. And it's right across from the waterfront. Right now I'm less than a mile from the port. I walked up from there, and right now behind me you could see San Felipe del Moro Castle, and then from up here where I'm standing you can pretty much get a panoramic view of the area. So you got the water behind me, you have Santa Maria Cemetery, and then when you look off in the distance you could see Old San Juan, and the port is on the other side. This is the Windjammer Marketplace. It's one of 2 buffets on deck 15. There are 18 decks total. The top 2 are private for suites, but I'm gonna check this place out now. So the first thing you're supposed to do when you enter here is wash your hands. They have sinks on both sides, and then over off to the right, there's a coffee bar, and over here you could also get alcoholic drinks at any time of the day when they're open. I believe they close around 9 o'clock. But let me show you the reason I come here every morning and have been coming here every morning since I've been on the ship. Right here you have 4 types of smoked salmon. You see we have beetroot, squid ink, dill, and smoked. So my 2 favorites are the ones in the middle. And then over on this side, hey, apa kabar? So the friendly staff here, good. The friendly staff here will give you a plate and napkin, and then you just wander around here and pick what you want. I usually come for the salmon, but one other thing about the Windjammer buffet is they have the exact same things on both sides. So in the event that it does get too crowded, you could always go to the other side. Sometimes they have both open and sometimes they don't. So here you can see exactly where we're at, Wonder of the Seas. And they have 2 types of cabins. They have the ones that are facing inside, and then the kind I have that faces the water. I'm at the Windjammer buffet, and I have a window seat. You can see the Caribbean Sea out in the distance. And post-workout, this is my breakfast every morning. So the one right here is squid ink smoked salmon. You can see there's a layer of black squid ink on the outside. And then the other one I like is the dill, with a layer of dill on the outside. So there are 2 buffets. One is the Solarium, which is on the other end of the ship, and this is the Windjammer, which is on the same side that I am, that my room is. So they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner here every day, and as I showed you before, they also have a little bar/coffee shop. So I'm here with Ed Eisworth, who's the Director of Beverages for Olive Royal Caribbean International. and we have one of the drinks here. You have about a half dozen mocktails on your menu throughout the ship, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
And the watermelon lemonade or watermelon mint lemonade and this blueberry mojito have been my two go-tos since I've been here.
Oh, fantastic, great.
So I just want to ask you a couple questions. First of all, as far as these drinks go, who came up with these concepts?
So myself and I have an innovation manager. Her name's Alexandra Palmieri. So Alex is really the mixologist, and I'm more the concept guy. So during COVID, during the shutdown, we were tasked for kind of continuous improvement and innovation. And as we were looking at just our non-alcoholic experience across the ship, we realized we didn't have a lot of curated cocktails, or non-alcoholic cocktails, and we prefer to call them zero-proof cocktails versus mocktails, because we've treated them just like we were developing a cocktail for a bar. We put just as much thought and effort into balancing the flavors, where a mocktail is you make a pina colada and take the rum out of it, and you've got a virgin pina colada, and that's a mocktail. And honestly, that was kind of what our non-alcoholic was pre-COVID or pre the shutdown, was just taking alcohol out of drinks. So the 5 drinks that we now have on the fleet menu really were specifically geared to speak to our guests who choose not to drink on board the ships.
And are they geared to any particular part of the world? Like, are they going to be different if I took a cruise like in Europe or Asia?
Right now, no.
Okay.
Okay. So we did vary the flavor profile. So the blueberry mojito actually is intentionally extremely tart on the front and then finishes sweet. And when I was working on this with Alex, I said, I need you to channel a Sour Patch Kid.
Oh,
so
okay.
Starts off sour, ends up sweet.
Thank you. I haven't thought of those in about 25 years.
Is what we did with this one. And then, we used, on another one, we used Red Bull, which, Red Bull is kind of ubiquitous around the world now. We use the tropical Red Bull as a backbone flavoring. We took something as simple as a Shirley Temple and added ginger syrup to it to give it a more depth of flavor and a little more adult flavor profile than a typical Shirley Temple. So.
Okay, so my favorites have been the watermelon mint lemonade and the blueberry mojito. Is there one that has taken off better than some of the others?
I would say the watermelon mint is probably the winner of the pack for sure. It's I think watermelon mint is something just about everyone recognizes a great flavor combination, and it's really light, refreshing, and just a way to really, sitting on the pool deck, if you don't want another pina colada or you choose not to drink, it's really light, refreshing when you're in the middle of the Caribbean or the middle of the Mediterranean. So,
okay, here's another question. Have you had any call or have you discussed just an alcohol-free cruise? Is that in the works, or has it ever been discussed?
Not to my knowledge. We haven't talked about that. I know. So we do have several charters that come in and take the ships over, that are either for whatever reason either downplay the alcohol all the way or take alcohol away altogether. But as far as us marketing a cruise on our own, not to my knowledge, we haven't discussed that. So.
Okay, so now this is the inaugural sailing of Wonder of the Seas, correct?
Yes.
Do you get to go on other inaugural sailings?
So I've been with the company 4 years. We've launched Symphony,
okay,
Odyssey, Spectrum, and Wonder, and I've been on all the inaugural sailings. So
great. Okay. So when you say people could charter a ship, would anyone ever charter one of this size?
Yes, actually, fairly routinely. We'll charter Oasis class ships a few times a year. Frankly, there's a whole other department that knows more about that than I do, but we do support charters on Oasis class ships, and I don't know how much it costs before you ask me.
Okay, that's fine. But there is one thing that really blew my mind on this trip. And it wasn't like, everything is pretty much impressive. The food, the squidding salmon, but even more than the squidding salmon, the bionic bar really blew my mind. Okay. Where did that come from?
So we work with a company out of, we've had it on since, I think the first one went on to Quantum, as the first in class Quantum ship, prior to my being with Royal. And we work with a company out of Italy called Maker Shaker. And they really developed it taking, it's the same technology, same robot arms you see in manufacturing and manufacturing lines and cars, but they took the technology and they actually used the movements from a male ballet dancer from the New York Metropolitan Ballet and stylized the movements of the arms off the way he moves. So where if you see the same arms on a assembly line, it's very regimented movement, where the bionic bars are a lot smoother. And you know, it was just one of those things where we were probably one of the first customers, their first customer in the world. We were able to put it on the cruise ship and really create an experience that there's nothing like it 10 years ago. And it continues to be a crowd pleaser. Guests love seeing it, watching it do its work. So, you know, it's a fun adventure or fun little, you know, add-on to the bar program here.
I've been shooting here pretty much a few clips a day. This is our 4th day, I believe, at sea. Or
that sounds about right.
yeah, so like our trip's about half over, but that was the first thing I shot, and that was the most fun, like, to watch afterwards, because I don't always watch all my footage like right away afterwards, but that was really cool. I had the Tutti Frutti. I don't know if it's there were like a few other, I guess now we should be calling them zero proof cocktails.
Yeah, we've got about 15 or 20, I believe, is what's in the database for the Bionic Bar, and that's really where it started. You know, that was one of the expansions to the non-alcoholic program, was utilizing the Bionic Bar, again, before my time, but something we've looked at expanding in the past.
I think it's a great idea. Even like as a non-drinker myself, it was the coolest thing I've seen on this ship so far.
Fantastic.
Anything else you want to say about Wonder of the Seas or Royal Caribbean International?
Again, you know, I mean, I think really what's topical now is, you know, we're back sailing. We're extremely safe. We're just as safe as walking down Main Street in any town. The protocols have worked. Our crew is excited to be back and excited to welcome anyone on board. And you know, you come on and have an amazing time. This is a you know, 8th wonder of the world, really, when you think about it. I work for the company and I turn corners and still in awe when I see things on this ship. So,
well, Ed, thank you very much for your time, and I highly recommend Wonder of the Seas, and I'm sure the other ships that you mentioned are, you know, just as exciting in their own way. So.
Oh, they absolutely are. I mean, you can't go wrong with any ship. Wonder's just our, you know, our brand new toy that we have. So,
well, it's a pretty big toy.
It is a pretty big toy.
All right, thank you. I'm on the 5th deck of Wonder of the Seas, and behind me is a Starbucks and then Spotlight Karaoke. It's one of the places where people go for a little bit of entertainment in the evening, and I'm going to show you the rest of this deck now. So that's one of the bars right there, and then this is a little shop where you could get things related to the ship. And then here, just like in most other cities, they have little directions here. The boardwalk, I'm going to show you that a little bit later. The entertainment palace, and then this right here is a pizza place where you can pretty much get pizza from into the afternoon and the evening. And then here's another bar right here. I think this one has a little bit of a New York Irish pub feeling, or maybe even something from Ireland itself. Jewelry, accessories. And then right here, here's their logo. And then if you want to book a future cruise, you can get the process started right there. This is a really important place here because this is one of the spots where you can get pastry and coffee pretty much morning, afternoon, and evening. And then guest services are right over here. And then what I'm really excited to show you is above right here is Deck 8, also known as Central Park. Have a little bit of a photo gallery right here. Focus. And there's the Bionic Bar. So we're going to be spending the next 24 hours here in port. We're in Nassau in the Bahamas, and we're about to tour the Marine Academy.
We are in the process of becoming the National Maritime College by government, soon to be in the not too distant future. It was passed, I think about 2 years ago, that is the idea, that is their thinking, and we've been getting rave reviews from them and support. And of course, I cannot forget RCL. They have been one of the winds beneath our sails.
So right now the crew are simulating different kind of weather conditions. I believe this is San Francisco. They're using as the example. So right now I'm at John Watling's distillery in Nassau in the Bahamas. This place has been here since 1789. And what am I about to do?
The waxing experience.
So I'm waxing a bottle of rum. So I put it in about up to here?
Yes.
How long?
Come up.
Okay.
Up. Give it a little drain.
Let it drip.
Yes. And you give it a little twist with both hands.
Twist with both hands?
Yes. Both hands.
Okay.
Then you bring it up, bring it up.
Bring it up.
Then you put it in the water.
Put it in the water for how long?
5 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that about right?
Yes, bring it up.
Bring it
There
up.
you go.
And do I get to take this home?
Yes, you do.
Okay, Wonder of the Seas. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I'm on the 17th deck. We're about to tour one of the grand suites in the suite neighborhood. So unlike the standard rooms, they have a bathtub, and the bathroom is a little bit bigger. And then check this out. They have espresso machines, a little bit bigger of a lounge area. And check this out. Here is the bed. And right from here, this is a view, this is a sea view, but we're docked here in the Bahamas, so there is another ship out there. So I'm on the 8th deck of the Wonder of the Seas, and as you can see behind me, we're gonna go check out Central Park. So a lot of the specialty restaurants are located on this deck, and as you can see right here, Central Park is a lot newer than the one in New York where I live. So over on the left here, we have Giovanni's, which is one of the specialty restaurants. And then when you come up here, you can see a little bit of the greenery, kind of halfway up the ship. And a lot of these restaurants here have special hours, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All have dinner, not all have breakfast. That's usually done at the buffet. But you can see over here the Park Cafe, right here. This is a place you could just pop in anytime. And you can see if you come here right now, you could take from here. They have panini, they have beef, they have salad, they got some drinks as well. And then as you head out here, here's one of the many bars on the ship. And I have been asked this several times. Yes, they do have drinks, non-alcoholic. They don't call them mocktails, they call them zero proof. And they have about a half dozen on offer. And then here's a little place to hang out, and also another specialty restaurant. This is the Chop Grill, which is a steakhouse. And then over on the left is the first restaurant that I tried, first specialty restaurant I should say that I tried. And this is 150 Central Park. And over on the left here, you can see, just like when you're in New York, the menus are all on display behind glass. Most of the people at my table had the lamb Wellington. I had the lobster thermidor. And then this is Rising Tide. You could see down all the way to guest services. And now we're gonna go check out the boardwalk. So you got Zoltar off on your right. We have a carousel here, some games, which there are more on the top floors. But here's the boardwalk doghouse, and all of these are included. You can see some of the different options here. Hello. And although the carousel's not running right now, you do have the water slides, which start, I believe, up on the 16th deck, and then you slide down all the way to the 6th. And then here's the classic diner, Johnny Rockets, which is a specialty restaurant, but a lot of people still go there. So then you have, this is where the people come down. It's closed right now, but then up here you have the rock climbing wall. And here's where the water shows take place at night. I believe they call them aqua shows. And right now you can see people are doing yoga down at the bottom of the ramp here. This is the last stop of the cruise. We're at Perfect Day, which is a private island, which is currently being leased by Royal Caribbean. They have water slides, and it's basically an entertainment complex on an island here in the Bahamas. We're gonna go check it out now. So these are some of the things behind me that you could do once you get onto this little island here. The cruise ships are on the other side of me, and one of the things that stands out the most when you're looking from on the ship is this high water slide. Behind me there are also swimming pool, private beach clubs, little bar here, Captain Jack's. And when you're on this ship, you usually get about 5 hours to come hang out here. There are pools, private cabanas, anything like that. There's also half of this is coastline, so you can go in the water or jump in one of the pools. And there's a little tram that takes people around the island. You can see it passing through behind me. So I'm on deck 15, and this is where the pools are, and there's some live entertainment here on and off throughout the day. And it's also a great place to watch the sunset. So the band plays on deck 16, and then also on deck 16 is one of the many hot tubs that they have here on the ship. They also have a water slide that you board at a higher deck. They have lifeguards on staff, another hot tub. These are the pools, deck chairs, and then a lovely view of the sea. And this is the hot tub that I've spent the most time in since I've been on the ship. So right down here is the water, and then you can see off in the distance the Caribbean Sea. And in the front of the Solarium restaurant, I'm getting a Thailand vibe from the elephant, even though we're in the Caribbean. And here's another hot tub, and then this pool that you're gonna see right over here. You could step down from one pool into another, and you could kind of dip your feet in the chairs. So 7 days later, I'm back here at Port Everglades. The wonder of the seas is behind me. I'm never gonna forget this trip. A couple things I wanted to mention. They do ask you to mask up between the port and when you get into the ship. For the rest of the time, it is optional. We did land at Haiti, and we did also spend much more time in the Bahamas. I was not asked to show a passport there. I'm looking forward to doing another one of these cruises with Royal Caribbean. I'd like to thank them, and also please subscribe. I have some more content coming up about Los Angeles, Queens, Brooklyn, and some other places. So I hope to have you along on the journey. Thank you.